I am Rabbi Thomas Fortenberry. I'm a descendant of Isaac Fortenberry, a Confederate veteran. Many of the people in my family were veterans. As a military veteran, I served with the United States Army. It's important to veterans of all wars to remember those who have passed and what they did and what they suffered. Everyone who serves gives a part of themselves. The SCV is much a part of that. The SCV serves people, not only the people that are involved as members, but the community. My commitment to the SCV is a commitment to our heritage, our cause, not in a violent way nor aggressive way, simply in the way we live. Live what you believe. But in your defense, know in what you're defending and defend it truthfully. May Yahovah bless you and keep you. May Yahovah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace and blessing.
Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, Evening Moose, and before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, Northern Division, Brigade, Camp Service, subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you planned. We're just going to sit back, relax, talk about some SCV news, and talk about some Southern culture events that are coming up. You'll understand what I'm talking about in a minute. Before we get started, I do want to apologize for my tardiness. I'm hoping to have some great news from the farm to share with you very soon. But until then, it was a very hectic day at Dixie Farms, and it was draining. I have went through 2 bottles of water. I only have this much for the rest of the show, so that should be interesting. Golly, that Mississippi heat is brutal this time of year, and all my animals are sharing in that sentiment. It is, No, the good Lord did not give me a singing voice. Hence, when the singing of Dixie reports in at events, you'll notice that I am just saying the words. I'm very quiet simply because I know better than to sing. Because the one time I sung Dixie, Connor it was the first live event we ever did. The first one. And Connor had the camera right next to me, and I started singing. And it was awful. But yeah, we do have some news tonight. I'm making sure we get every bit of it up there. And hopefully we will be able to have it all up there. Let's see here. Let's make sure. But one of the things I wanted to talk to everybody about, simply because buy you a bucket to carry a tune in. Y'all got jokes tonight. All y'all got jokes tonight. Y'all are killing me. Killing me. Commander McMichael, I might accidentally forget about the news you sent in. Hey, Kentucky Division Commander Kyle Thompson is on time. I just had to push the show back 20 minutes. I'm so glad that you could come in, Commander. But good to see you, Commander. Good. Oh my gosh, y'all are excited tonight. Probably got a hole in the bucket. Confederate Heritage has just been roasting me for a good solid 2 weeks. I want to figure out what I've done to Confederate Heritage page. They've just been roasting me, man. The whole past couple weeks, they've just been going after me. Commander Kyle Thompson, good to see you. Past Commander in Chief Chuck McMichael, good to see you. The Lone Ranger, Alan Lawrence, good to see you. Adjutant Don Green in the house, good to see you, Captain. Past Commander in Chief Paul Gramlin Jr., the most sharp dressed man in the SCV. Ray from Virginia, good to see you. Dr. Mitchum. Good to see you, Dr. Mitchum. I'm going to have to con you onto the show again at some point soon. Don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure you can find out something, Dr. Mitchum. We'll shoot some open dates back and forth in a bit. Sometime next week, if you can, not next week be on the show, but next week call me and let's get some dates figured out so we can get you on the show. Let's see if there's anybody I'm missing. Ryan Rogers, good to see you from Camp 1824 in Alabama. Good to see you. Carl Jones, Faversham to Army of Tennessee Commander. Let's scroll back down. Todd Owens, good to see you. Did you get my pick that I sent last week? Let me get it. We're going to be talking about, a good bit of stuff tonight, so I have time to upload something for once. Let's see here. What did you send it on? Did you send it to me personally? Oh, you sent it to my phone, didn't you, Commander? That always gets me. I'm awful when it comes to checking my phone for stuff. But that's why I'm so happy to have you chat heads help me out, because when it's been a day and a half, I can count on y'all to either roast me because I don't know how to pronounce something or help me out. I try my best. If there's usually a lot of news, I'll say I'll get it next week. If there's not, I'll try my best to squeeze it in. It is hard to upload stuff once the show is live. So, yes. You sent it to my phone, Commander, and I just had a complete brain fart about it. But I have it loading up now. So it will be loaded. Y'all are just not getting your end of the entertainment stick tonight. Am I right? Y'all are all just watching the TV like, and Moose didn't do anything to get ready for the show, did he? And the answer is I did. I rushed to get on. I was flooded with work. If I had the show already ready to go, I probably would have got the Florida man to fill in for me tonight. But with 30 minutes till the show went live, I don't think that's fair to him. But Mr. Sean's always a good sport about it. He understands, and that's why I'm so happy to have him on the SCV chat team, if you will. He is always happy to help a lending hand, and he almost got a phone call tonight. All right. Oh, yes, sir. The Robert E. Lee Award. Yes. The one that Connor has been giving me crap. Well, that's for later. I'm in the middle of uploading, so I can't take it down. But, y'all enjoy that pretty graphic. There, let me take that down. We're saving that one towards the wind. Send news yes, please send news to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com. Yes, we got some Mississippian the people in the crowd that are happy to see fall muster. Yeah, so am I. I'm happy to get the poster on. I do have to edit this poster later for future shows, but I'm happy. Confederate Heritage is just completely roasting me. I don't know what I've done to them. I'll have to figure out at some point. But it's good to see everybody. So, yes, the show must go on. So we got all the news loaded in, so we'll be saving that for the end of the show. So please stay tuned. Also, help me out because of my hectic work week schedule this week. It's been just a couple weeks that have just been awful. So please share this out. I didn't have time to promote it like I normally do, as you can tell, as I'm still trying to get the show set up. I am just been struggling. Miss Linda Gramlin, Gigi, good to see you. Your Confederate mom is very proud of you. Thank you, Gigi. Miss Linda always brightens my day. I'm so happy to see her in the chat. Always makes me happy. Commander Gramlin saying we're very patient people. That's because we're all Southern gentlemen, and we're very nice. So the one thing I wanted to talk about before we get into is football is just around the corner. And I don't know about y'all, but I play fantasy football because I'm tired of all the politics in pro football. And, something I would like to see as a joke, maybe as football season comes on, if y'all could make some Confederate-themed teams. I think that would be awesome to go into making either a college team or a pro team that's representing the whole state, or a college team representing a town. I love fantasy football. It's the only thing that gets me excited about football season these days. I still support Ole Miss sometimes, but it's hard to watch it when I know they've attacked my heritage. And another team I watch doesn't have any Confederate heritage, and that's Liberty University. They were founded a long time before the war. They never really put any of our heritage into the school. So I decided to make a fantasy football team that was my pro football Mississippi team. So I decided to make it the Mississippi Avengers. And there's a reason for that. Not only is there a lot of regiments in the state of Mississippi that had Avengers in the name, I have them written down somewhere, but also the Calhoun Avengers, where I spent a lot of time when I was a child. Calhoun Avengers camp in upper Mississippi. Always loved them. So the name takes inspiration for that. And Don will actually like this. Our mascot is Colonel Nathan, Nathan, modeled after Nathan Bedford Forrest. Southern Miss used to have Colonel Nate on the sideline. So Don will actually get a kick out of that. Our mascot is Colonel Nate, because I couldn't take Colonel Reb away from Ole Miss. So if Southern Mississippi will have just Colonel Nate just standing there waiting for me. I snapped some up. The Mississippi Avengers called him just Nate. He goes out there and just like absolutely charges everybody. That I put way too much thought into this, but honestly, it's the only way I can watch pro football because it's gotten so woke and liberal, and they've taken really the fun out of sports. So that's how I have solved the football problem, is the fact that I have made up a team, the Mississippi Avengers. Chuck, this is a PG family-friendly show. That's I want to respond, but I can't. But all I can say is corn dogs. I'm glad that LSU is coming. Aren't y'all coming to Oxford this year? No. We're going to Baton Rouge, so I'm going to the land of corn dogs. I won't be. I don't want to get robbed, because it is LSU. So I will be staying safely in the state of Mississippi for that game. Lieutenant General Richard Taylor, Camp 1308, is in the chat with Tony Williams. Good to see you. I don't watch it. I watch my fantasy league. Honestly, that's the only way I can get excitement. I probably shouldn't admit to this, but we put money in it. And the winner gets a couple $100. And I spent all my money because you were looking at the reigning, defending fantasy football champion, the Mississippi Avengers, with Colonel Nate wearing a championship belt this year in all my posts in the group. So I spent all the money I won in that league on a big championship fantasy football belt like an idiot, like I'm Hulk Hogan going out to the NWO. I bought that, and I bought a jersey that's like a Dick Nabbit Confederate Heritage. That's a good one. I bought a jersey that's reminiscent of the old Ole Miss jersey with a dark navy blue. Because my great grandfather actually played at Ole Miss in 1948, and he was big in our Confederate heritage. If y'all remember, you have my great grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and me. That's 4 generations that were in the SCV. He loved his Confederate heritage. So back then, Ole Miss was probably the best school you could go to if you wanted to celebrate your Confederate heritage, because we just had it plastered everywhere. So he loved Ole Miss, and so I got that, and I got his high school jersey number 24. I've spent way too much money on this. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I'm not just flush with cash right now. My dad looked at me today, and he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Honestly, it's my Confederate pro football team." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "I made a pro Confederate football team in my head. I have all the traditions. I have the location of the stadium. I have everything. I have spent way too many midnights bored, obviously. I have a logo for the team. I have a Confederate logo for the team. I have a very bad reminiscence of Nate, because our mascot's Nathan Bedford Forrest. I'm challenging everybody to please send in your Confederate pro football teams or your pro Confederate college team. Make them up, have fun with it. If you're just bored one night and you just really want to dive in, because that's the fun part, is diving into Confederate history to take traditions from. Like I knew about Colonel Nate from Southern Miss, but I didn't know if he was like Colonel Reb. See, Colonel Reb is kept alive on campus by the Colonel Reb Foundation. I was president of the Colonel Reb Foundation. So we kept Colonel Reb alive on campus, and actually discovered a Confederate connection to Colonel Reb, and it all went off from there. And that organization's still alive. It's still proud of our traditions at Ole Miss, and they do their best to keep it alive. So I didn't know if Colonel Nate had that. I dived into it a bit. So I got old pictures of Colonel Nate that I send in the group chat when it's game day. So y'all come up with something. Have fun with it. We'll post it on some game days, college or NFL if you're a pro team like myself. And let's just have fun with it. I mean, studying your Confederate heritage can be absolutely fun. I love it. And I love just being bored one night and being like, I have all this Confederate heritage, our history web pages open just because I get bored and I'd like to study our history. And so nights like that, I'll come up with just all these traditions and reasoning why we have them and connect them to my fake football team. So I'm asking that y'all all do it. I think it'd be good. Gee, maybe a team named the Confederate Louisiana Tigers. Oh, already have one. Chuck, y'all are not better than Ole Miss. Y'all have hid away from your Confederate heritage too. Don't act like you haven't. Greetings from Northern Louisiana game day. You mean LSU? Our commander-in-chief has chimed in. We have a lot of LSU fans in the chat. I need some Colonel Reb people. Come on, guys. Colonel Reb was my high school mascot until 3 years ago. Awesome. I hate that he's no longer, but that sounds fun. Maybe you should establish an SCV chat fantasy football league. Oh, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. That sounds phenomenal. I wonder how many people would be interested in that. How much time have I been rambling about fantasy football? Okay. If you're interested, let us know. Only one. Time out. Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin. Aren't you in Virginia? And you're doing Go Gators at me? Come on now. Come on. I thought you would at least be happy that I'm a Liberty fan. Not every Louisianan is a LSU fan. Oh, I forget that about Commander Griffin. I think every week for the past 3 weeks he's told me he's from Florida, and I forget it every time. If you ever want an example of how bad my memory is, just ask Commander Griffin, because he's been trying to beat that into my head for like a month and a half now. Yeah, you are from Florida, so okay. Excused. Dr. Mitchum, who do you support? But most of them are. I've started something now. The LSU fans are attacking my chat now. Let's see here. I think we have a new SCV member in the chat, Mr. Tony T. Williams. So welcome to the SCV, brother. I'm glad you've joined our Southern Brotherhood, and I'm so happy you have decided to. You have joined a great camp, the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308, and I hope to see you more on the show. So, well, Moose is not an elephant. No, I'm not. I am definitely not. I think fantasy singing choir is what. Yeah, no one wants to hear me sing. No, Miss Linda, no, no. Yeah, you were a professor over at ULM. I didn't know y'all competed with LSU for funding. Dr. Mitchell sounds like he's kind of like an Ole Miss fan where he cheers every time LSU lose. The LSU and Ole Miss rivalry is deep. Like, people always like, oh, y'all's biggest rivalry is state. No, that's our second biggest. Ole Miss fans absolutely despise LSU. And it goes all the way back to Archie Manning. And it has just been a long storied rivalry. The Magnolia Bowl has been. And we if you want to see an Ole Miss fan happy, just tell them LSU lost. just you will see a face light up with enjoyment. There's only 2 games Ole Miss has to win. Ole Miss can lose every other game, and the majority of the fan base wouldn't care because we remember the 2010s where we lost a lot in the early 2000s. Oh my gosh. And that's LSU and Mississippi State. As long as we beat them, we're happy. And honestly, you could still lose to State. If it's not a blowout and it's a close game, again, most of the people will be happy as long as we beat LSU. That's just the fact. Dr. Mitchum's a Tennessee Vol alum. Yeah, you got your PhD from there. I act like I haven't read Dr. Mitchum's bio. Confederate Heritage, you are lucky. I'm not signed into Facebook as SCV chat. I'd put you in a timeout for that. I act like I haven't read your bio before, Dr. Mitchum. I keep getting surprised over here. But then again, I am a bit brain dead tonight, so y'all are getting what y'all get. I was, oh my gosh, I was dying outside. I've been outside forever. I sweated through my shirt and my hat, and luckily I have what I've been using as my SCV chat hat with a Mississippi flag on it. And I'd soaked through it. The shirt is soaked. Oh my gosh. Mom was Razorback, so we were careful about yelling for LSU. I did not sing. I said Dixieland. The Confederate Heritage just attacking me, man. Oh gosh. Well, we're going to go ahead and kind of jump in and out of news, but yeah, that's my challenge for everybody tonight. Let's make some football teams that have deep ties to Confederate heritage. Come up with a team name, a mascot. The only rule is you cannot take anything from a university that already still has those traditions. Now, you can, of course, copy some of it, but you can't be a direct copy. Like, that's the whole reason I didn't directly copy everything from Ole Miss. My mascot isn't Colonel Reb, even though Colonel Reb is my favorite mascot. I went after Colonel Nate because Ole Miss still has Colonel Reb. Sadly, Southern Miss does not have Colonel Nate. Make football Confederate again. Oh my gosh, that is great. Oh, all right, Heritage, you're out of the pin box for anything you've done. That I'm stealing that. We're making a post. That's a challenge going out to everybody. I'll post about it next week, simply because we do have some events this weekend, and so we'll be posting them tomorrow on the Facebook page and Instagram. So, thank you. But we do have some events this weekend, so let's go ahead and jump into the news. So the first bit of news is going to be coming out of, let's see here, Virginia. The Turner Ashby Camp 1567 of the Sons of Confederate Veterans had a booth set up at the Frederick County Fair this past weekend. And I wanted to point out, they are some great men dedicated to the cause, because look at this. Look at the storm, the rain, and these men stayed out there in these conditions and still got out there and was a positive influence in the community for the SCV. This is another picture of their tent. A lot of great stuff in that tent. And they also wanted to remind everybody that they will be setting up another booth at the Clark County, Virginia fair in 2 weeks, August 11th through the 17th. So come check them out. So if you're in the Virginia area, you still have 2 days to come check them out. But I do want to again thank the Camp 1567, because I mean that's dedication, and that makes me happy to see a local camp out there in the community giving it their all. Come rain or shine, they're out there. So thank you, Camp 1567. Great work. Keep it up. And please send us more pictures from the Clark County Fair. Great job. Yes. Past Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, is right. That is a great way to influence local community leaders and politicians. I don't want to get the horse ahead of the carriage, but that's something I love seeing is SCV getting involved in our communities. Because let's be honest, SCV camps are the backbone of the SCV. And y'all getting involved at the local level is a great way to get the community on your side. So, great job to the Turner Asby camp. Phenomenal work, gentlemen. Y'all keep it up. Send more pictures. We'll post them out. So, everybody go like it, go share it. Let's get a big movement for them. And let's also make sure that they can send that to their community leaders and be like, hey, look at this. Getting a text. Let's see here. There we go. That's family stuff, so I had to answer it. Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy wanted to say, be sure to send all local elected officials a letter with a photo of your event. Great point, Commander Kennedy. You need to be connected to these people. You need to be connected to your community. Get out in your community as much as possible. And when you clean a stone or put up a monument or have a meeting, send a picture of it afterwards. Hey, guys, great meeting. So thank you, guys. Let's see here. We also had another event. Let's see here from the Kentucky division. Yes, let's see here. The Kentucky division hosted a memorial service at the CSA Confederate Monument on August 10th at Fort Donelson. The Tennessee division members and representatives from the UDC and OCR were also on hand. Nearly 70 people were in attendance. Congratulations, gentlemen. That is, of course, a group photo there. And here is a picture of the actual event as it was happening. Looks like y'all had a great time. Congratulations to the Kentucky division for such a great event. Let's see here. All right. We're going to move on. Let's see here. Let me look at the chat again. Were you wearing Jordans? please tell. Oh, no, you're wearing boots. I thought you were wearing Jordans in the picture with a suit. I was about, Commander Thompson, you were about to get it. But great event. Great job, gentlemen. I love Jordans. I mean, I'm not ragging on you for that, but with the suit, that's my concern. And now, look, I'm not a fashion guy. I'm a farmer. I mean, I have an abundance of navy blue shirts and pants that I wear every day. I can't judge anybody's style, but Jordans with a suit, I can judge. But the Kennedy twins are right, though. Please email that to your community leaders, newspapers, post it out, Chamber of Commerce. There's so many things to do, and I would love to spend an episode talking about it, but there's some things I want to some people I want to talk to first before that, because I want to have all my ducks in a row before I start that episode. But would love to do an episode on community involvement. Got a little Tar Heel in you there, Moose. Moose dress up includes his brogans. I do have my brogans. They blister my feet every time, but I love my brogans. One day they will be broken in. And we got some news coming out of Louisiana. So here is the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana, attending the 2024 National SCV Reunion. All right. Now, here is the fun part. Saying names. So, from left to right is Keith Porter, Alan Lawrence, Scott Summers, John Moore, past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gremlin Jr., past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael, Bobby Herring, David Hill, and J.C. Hanna. Our Chief of Staff, J.C. Hanna. Great showing. Again, y'all have pictures from Reunion. Keep sending them in. I know that we'll be talking about pictures from Reunion for a while, so please send them in. All right. Now we are going to go to the great state of Mississippi as we have some events coming up in Mississippi. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to point out in the picture. Let me bring it back up. That, let's see here, right neck to the right of Chuck McMichael. If you know who Chuck is, he's kind of in the center to the right. Commander Bobby Herring is the new division commander of Louisiana. So I do want to congratulate you, Commander, and thank you for all your hard work that you're doing in the state of Louisiana. And I would love to have you on the show. So hopefully we can get a Louisiana division update very soon. Now, is Don Green still in the chat? Herring. Heron. Commander Bobby. Maybe it's good he's not on the show. Okay, good. Adjutant Green, if there is anything I miss on the next event, please jump in. But I do want to point out there's an event happening at Beauvoir this weekend, and I want to thank Commander Green for always helping me out with the graphics. The third Saturday Living History event at Beauvoir, the Jefferson Davis Home and Presidential Library. Captain Ladner and the 7 Stars Artillery will have a cannon there. So make sure you bring people out for some fun and educational experience. It will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can get contact info from Beauvoir from visitbeauvoir.org. Reenactors and living historians will be on site dressed in Confederate uniforms to demonstrate cannons and rifle firings throughout the day and other activities. Whew. It's a phenomenal event. I love our third Saturdays. Commander Green has been a great help with Beauvoir for helping us promote it. So I'm glad he was in the chat because I didn't know he was going to be in the chat tonight. So I wanted to publicly thank Commander Green for helping us with everything he does down there. And thank you. Sorry, a comment caught my eye. We'll have a cannon and is in charge. So the photo of Beauvoir just used, I believe it's on our Facebook, but Don Green has been making the third Saturday flyers for Beauvoir, donating his time to promote it and to make the flyers and get the news out there. So if you see Commander Adjutant Green in the chat, contact him, Mr. Kennedy, and he'll be able to send that to you. Great work, by the way, Commander Green. You're past commander, so it still counts. And thank you for all you do. Sadly, I won't be able to be there this Saturday because there's another event happening in Mississippi this Saturday. So I expect to see y'all at one of these, is basically what I'm saying. And the next event happening in Mississippi is the Carl and Nancy Ford Southern Culture, History, and Heritage Educational Conference. Registration is at the door, $40, and it includes lunch. It'll be at this weekend at 8:30 a.m. It will be in Raymond, Mississippi, the McKenzie Arena. For those who don't know, Commander Carl Ford is a past division commander of the state of Mississippi. He did a lot of our educational heritage conferences, and we are restarting them with the inaugural Carl and Nancy Ford Southern Culture, History, and Education and Heritage Education Conference. They were great Southern patriots in the 1990s. And again, they started this, and the Mississippi Division Heritage Committee with Chief of Heritage Operations in the state of Mississippi, Connor Bond, restarting this, and me as Deputy Chief of Heritage Promotion and Education, state of Mississippi, are very proud of this event. You will have Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones talking on secession and the Constitution. A phenomenal historian in Grady Howell talking about the Mississippi Rifles, past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney talking about the Vicksburg campaign, and another phenomenal historian who's been on the show before, Ryan S. Walters, talking about Reconstruction. Great event. Let me put all the information you will need. Kyle, did you send me a picture of Jordan's? That got me, Kyle. If you want, we are asking that everybody pre-register, and that is going to be on the Mississippi Division website. So I'm going to be pulling that up real quick and putting that in the chat. Ah, hey, look, a little troll. Goodbye. Bye, Andrew. All right. And so we have those two great events happening in the state of Mississippi. Registration link is in the chat. You can also go on the Mississippi Division Facebook page, and you can see everything. This conference will have 4 great speakers. There's vendor booths available for authors. Just contact Connor's email below, and all proceeds will go to Heritage Operations Fund. So please support us. I'm very happy to be part of the Heritage Committee now at the state of Mississippi, and of course, national level. And this is just something that I've been wanting to see happen in the state of Mississippi, me and Connor both. And of course, my father has helped us out a lot too, getting everything set up. And I'm so happy to see it happen again and started it up. So going back to the third Saturday this week, again, go to the events you can. If you're closer to Biloxi, third Saturday events are good for you, especially if you have a family, because kids love it. And if you're closer to Raymond, Mississippi, come to the Heritage Conference. All great events. Both are great events and need support. So I'm asking that y'all both go support them. Captain Don Green of the 38th Mississippi Infantry wanted to remind everybody that they will be setting up tents and putting out items for display and visit with spectators. So that's for the third Saturday event at Beauvoir, the Jefferson Davis home. And he also wanted to point out that he started in the Laurel Camp, which Commander Carl Ford was a part of, and attended many of his old heritage conferences. I know Mr. Don won't be able to attend this event. I know I think he has. Actually, I won't speak for you, Commander. I know you have something else going on this weekend, but he is still making sure that everybody knows about both events and has been helping share it out. And that is a great compatriot right there. And so I want again to thank you, Commander Green. And I didn't know that you knew Commander Ford, Commander Michael. Great compatriot. Again, he started this in the Mississippi Division. He started all the old heritage conferences. And I'm so excited to see them back in the Mississippi Division, as well as Third Saturdays. Third Saturdays had stopped at Beauvoir, and I'm happy to see them back. And again, Commander Green has done a lot of that work. So thank you. I keep thanking them, but I mean, it's so good to see these events make a comeback in the Mississippi Division. We're so proud of that. But also, wrapping up in the Mississippi Division is the big one, the reenactment, the 38th annual Fall Muster event at Beauvoir, October 18th through the 20th, 2024. School day will be Friday, October 18th. War Between the States battles daily. Period music by unreconstructed band. Living historians will be on the property. Camp life, a ladies' tea, a period dance, small muster, settlers and vendors, first-person presentations, food, and snacks. This is the biggest fundraising event for Beauvoir, the Jefferson Davis Home, and Presidential Library. For those who don't know, Beauvoir is owned and operated by the Beauvoir Corporation, whose members are made up of the Mississippi Division, Sons of Confederate Veterans. This is our biggest event of the year. The whole Mississippi Division comes in and puts in a lot of work for this event. Please come out and support that if you can. Go ahead and mark it on your calendars. I hope to see you there. I will more likely be running around with like a chicken with my head cut off again. Commander Don, if you want to take my spot, please. I mess with Commander Don because he also was very involved in Fall Muster and knows what all goes into it. So I know he's just getting. It's so much better to sit back and enjoy it than to put on an event. I've learned that the hard way. But yes, Top Hat Settler from Florida will also be at Fall Muster. So please join us for the 38th annual Fall Muster event at Beauvoir. Whew. All right. And now we are going back to the Louisiana Division for recognition for a member of our organization receiving the second highest award the SCV gives, Robert E. Lee Medal. As past Commander-in-Chief Michael looks on, past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin Jr. presents Dave with the Robert E. Lee Medal, the second highest award in the SCV. Also looking on is past Louisiana Division Commander and also Robert E. Lee Award recipient David Hill. I want to congratulate you, Mr. David, or Mr. Dave. I know you did a lot of great work to receive the award. I believe you were played a big part in getting a monument put back up in the state of Louisiana and getting it put up where it is. And you, sir, definitely deserve that high honor. And thank you for your work in the Sons of Confederate Veterans and defending our Confederate heritage. We'll be posting that again next week. We should thank the members that have went above and beyond. Sometimes, as past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshier said, Southerners, we don't like to get pats on the back because that's not why we're in this organization. We're in this organization to preserve, protect, and pass on Confederate heritage and history. But, sometimes members go above and beyond, and they need that recognition. So please congratulate Mr. Dave if you see him. I know I want to thank you again, sir. Phenomenal work, and thank you. And then you have Don saying, been there, done that. You sure? I can get you on the committee. You can take my spot. Oh, it is an honor to be a part of it, though. I love doing it. I don't know how long I'll do it. I am losing sanity with some people, as you know, Commander. But it is awesome to be a part of preserving a great event like Fall Muster. And again, I hope you guys all come down to celebrate with us. Maybe you can catch me trying to figure out what something has happened and trying to figure out what to do. I love talking to everybody, love seeing everybody. You have sanity? No. I became a leader in the SCV. I lost all my sanity. Ever since I was been elected an officer on the brigade level, then got elected to the board of Beauvoir somehow. I've lost my sanity. I had some. If you go look back at the early seasons of SCV Chat, I was sane. I burnt it alive getting involved in politics. Burnt it. I'm looking forward to my time to be like, okay, y'all's turn. I will have no problem passing the torch. Here, take it, run. I'm going to do a Dan McCaskill. And Dan McCaskill, past adjutant in chief and division adjutant for the state of Mississippi, when he got out of the adjutant role, rolled up at the new adjutant's house, grabbed all the boxes he had as adjutant, threw them at the new adjutant, Mike Moore, and was like, bye, and drove off in his vehicle. Didn't even stop to talk to Mike, really. He just told him good luck. That is something I am looking forward to. I will have no problem passing the torch. I love every second of being involved because there's a certain pride I take in the fact that I'm doing my part. But I'm going to enjoy SCV retirement, so to speak. Chuck says I have about 50 years. Y'all are going to give me gray hair. I will have gray hair before I'm 40 at the rate we're going. Golly, 50 years. If people will have me, I'll stick around. I am that stupid to keep involving myself in stuff. I love it too much. That's my problem. Is I enjoy the stress like an idiot. Sometimes I pull out my hair. Oh no, I'm not shaving it. Not shaving my head. My dad has a bald head and he pulls it off perfectly. And so I know, since he didn't give me basketball skill, he didn't give me all the height in the family. I'm the shortest member of my family at 6'2" of the men. No, I know he didn't give me the blessing. I shaved my hair off in middle school. I had a military haircut because I wanted to be like heroes, like veterans. So I gave myself a high and tight. And my dad looked at me and said, that is maybe the worst decision you have ever done. And never do that again. So I am never, ever shaving my head again. I have had my hairline recede a bit, and that is unfortunate. I'll do the Robert E. Lee hair come over before I do a bald head. I think I would look awful. Everybody's saying that you have past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael and Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin saying I have 50 years left. Y'all sound like my camp trying to make me adjutant for 50 years. We put that in the minutes at some point. The only way I can get out of it is running for camp commander for an equal amount of time. They told me I have to beat my dad. My dad has been camp commander for 20 years. So, yeah, pulling my hair out. And then you have past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin saying there's no retirement. There isn't. There's always something you can do to stay involved. And I think you and Commander Chuck have really shown that. There's always a way you can stay involved while still passing the torch to the next generation. That's probably my favorite lesson y'all have given to me, is the fact that y'all stay so involved, but yet y'all can jump in and out of leadership roles, if that makes sense. Y'all are still leaders in the SCV, but Sometimes you've let someone else lead. Sometimes you've jumped back in to lead when called upon. I think that's a great quality to admire about y'all. But yeah, there is no retirement in the SCV, and that scares me. Because as I said, if I didn't wear the hat as much on the show, y'all would realize how far my hairline has went back since 2020 when we started the show, and I had the Justin Bieber bowl cut going on at that time. My poor hairline. My father likes to make the joke that I'm going to be bald, blind, and deaf before he is. He's beat me on the he beat me on the bald. He got, of course, bald way before I did, but his eyesight is hanging on longer than mine. My eyesight is actually diminishing, and worse than that, my hearing is. If you've seen me in public, you know how bad my hearing is. I have the mics on here turned up all the way so I can hear guests when they're on. I am deaf, blind. You can quit on the day of your funeral. No, my camp will ask me to do dues one more time. Oh gosh, if you ever want to work a lot, become a camp adjutant or a division adjutant. I'm not going to become a division adjutant. I'm glad I talked myself out of that. Sorry, Mike Moore. I'm not that crazy anymore. Oh, but it's good just to sit back and talk to y'all and talk about Confederate and SCV news. It's been a great day. If you know any UDC, ask them to send some stuff in. OCR, other heritage organizations, be sending stuff in. Of course, with this being an SCV show, if we get a lot of SCV news, we might have to postpone it to next week. But I love seeing other heritage organizations and what y'all are doing. And I love seeing the combined events we're having again. Because I do think working together is the best way to help preserve our heritage. Because everybody becoming a one-man team, so to steal a term, I think, from Commander Boshears, has not worked. We need to work together and separately. And there's a way we can do that. So I hope to see it. Love it. It is about that time, gentlemen. Ladies, great to have everybody on the show. Again, please share out all these events. Share this episode out so these events can get the press they need, so to speak, the attention. And when you see these events pop up on our page, please share them out so we can make sure that everybody knows about all these great events happening in the Confederation and help promote the SCV and our heritage. That's what we're here for, to honor our ancestors and keep their heritage and traditions alive for generations to come. Lead us in a farewell. No. I haven't lost that much sanity. What was it like to be sane, says Dr. Mitchum? My hairline didn't move back. I wasn't as fat now that I am now because I stress eat. So let's see what else. I wouldn't go down a rabbit hole and look up Confederate history at 4 a.m. or call someone at 4 a.m. to talk about an SCV event, or get called at 4 a.m. to talk about an SCV event. I slept somewhat before. I watched documentaries and read books at like 9. Now it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night, or sometimes 2, and I'm reading a book. Like one of Dr. Mitchum's books, every time he releases a new book and it becomes available on Audible, that's a no sleep night for me. Dr. Mitchum also sends me his books, so he's making sure I'm reading them, and so I love reading his books. And of course, so many people have given me book recommendations that I stay up so late reading. It's not even funny. Dr. Mitchum, you're a great author, and you've given me a lot of information that I love. Keep up the great work, Dr. Mitchum. That's all I got to say. I hope that I'm half the historian you are. I'm hoping I can release my first short book at some point, because then I have 2 big books I need to finish. Oh, I want to thank Larry McClooney for talking me into being an author, as if I didn't have enough to do. So thank you, Commander McClooney, for that. My favorite part of it is research. I don't like actually writing about it. So I got to get past that hump. But after I get past that, I hope to release some books. So what other books are you going to write? So I'm writing a short book. My first book is not going to be the first book to release. So the Dr. McCain book, talking about the great SCV member, the man that saved the SCV, Dr. McCain, will come out in 28. There's a specific reason that I want it to come out in 28. It will probably release the weekend of the Mississippi Division reunion, which is great because I'm also hosting that reunion, because, again, I just can't ask for any more stress. And then I have another book on the American Revolution going to release in 27, hopefully. And I have a short book that I'm writing right now, just to get something released, just to get the first book, because the first book is always bad. If there's something that every historian has told me so far, is your first book is always bad. And so I still wanted it to come from the heart and from a unit I cared about. So I'm writing a like Shiloh book, like Shelby Foote Shiloh, on the University Grays. So there are some very interesting men in the University Grays that I feel connected to. I feel like I can hopefully tell their story well. It's a fiction book. It's a novel, that first book. And then the next 2 books after that are strictly a historian, talking about the American Revolution, and then Dr. McCain. And again, those were released from a year from each other. So here's the hoping. I'm going to be spending, after August ends, we'll be spending a lot of time doing that behind the scenes. And hopefully I can have some time to share it with y'all. Will the colors come with your book? Are you talking about colors like crayon? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll have a coloring page on page 14. And then like every chapter after that. Oh gosh. Well, guys, it is about that time. I don't want to talk about myself too much. I try not to. I think I failed miserably at that tonight. So I know y'all are probably bored of me, so I'm going to go ahead and call the show. Thank you all for watching. Let me make sure I get all the promotion out there. Make sure you check out Creative Cockades. They are this season's sponsor. Mr. Kennedy, I stayed up till 5 yesterday because I couldn't sleep. All right, last night I couldn't sleep. I stayed up till 5, coming up with plans that I haven't got permission to do. I still need to talk to our chief of heritage ops and our commander about what they want me to do, because I spent way too much time thinking last night. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. I love heritage operations. Oh my gosh. I think that's a great field in the SCV, so to speak. So I was coming up with way too many plans last night. I stayed up till 5 doing that. And I looked up at my clock and I was like, oh, I regret everything. But I got a couple plans knocked out. Again, I have to get permission. But I try not to get too busy. Sometimes I do. Other times I'm so going back and forth. It's crazy, but I just love all the work I do too much. Yeah, no, we had no Pop-Tart break tonight. I just talked right through that. But I do want to talk about let me make sure I get that. So make sure you tune in this Monday for SCV Chat at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. And make sure you send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of the Look Around the Confederation. Yes, I will try to stay hydrated. I'm probably going to drink like 2 bottles of water after the show. Thank you guys for thank you, Commander Kennedy, for all that you've been doing. I know you've been busy. Thank you, Commander Ron. Y'all's dedication to the cause has been outstanding. It's honoring that y'all have thanked me, but y'all have done so much. Yeah, go support our sponsor, Creative Cockades. They make great historically accurate cockades. And of course, check us out on Patreon. If you want to help keep the show alive, go support us on Patreon for $10 a month. You get an exclusive show, your name in the credits, and so much more, as well as some exclusive Patreon-only merchandise from SCV Chat. And we keep on trying to add some more because y'all have made us have the time of our life getting to talk about the SCV and our heritage. So, I mean, I'm living the dream over here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to share this episode out, and I will see y'all this Monday, or this upcoming Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. Thank you, and good night, everybody. And remember to stay Southern.